On episode 6 of Courtside Chronicles, we were joined by Ron Corsi, the tournament director of Hoops for Harmony, a high school basketball tournament in York, Pennsylvania. This week on episode 7, we go behind the scenes of the tournament that takes place during Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. The goal? To both honor his mission against racism and further educate the athletes and coaches. So before they compete on the hardwood, their day starts with learning about why they're playing at Hoops for Harmony in the first place.
So, again, I want to thank you guys for being here. This is the 5th annual Hoops for Harmony. You guys have had the privilege of participating in this event, but it's kind of cool because the last couple years with us being the host school, you guys didn't really get to do the full experience. So, we're going to feed you a post-game meal. We got t-shirts for you, which you're going to wear to warm up in. We got some gift bags for you. We're going to make sure this is a great experience. But we want to remember the purpose of why we're here, which is celebrating Dr. King's birthday weekend. Now, your generation, unlike those that came before you, y'all talk about the civil rights movement and Dr. King like he walked the earth when Jesus Christ was here, like it was 3,000 years ago. But the reality is my parents and some of your grandparents were alive when we lived in a segregated country. And if we were still in times like that, your team as it's constructed would not be possible because I wouldn't be able to be in a space with you guys talking to you right now. Me and Coach Kemp wouldn't be able to have a relationship. The black players and white players would be separated. You wouldn't be able to attend the same school. So the first thing we want to do is we want to celebrate the legacy of Dr. King and all the progression that we've made. But the second thing we want to do is we want you to champion getting rid of racism permanently, all right? You are our future leaders. 10, 15, 20 years from now, when you're old and gray like me, and you have kids and you're executives at jobs, I want to have to change the name of this event because racism is a thing of the past. But the only way that happens is if you guys take an active role in doing that. So case in point, if you're in a situation where somebody uses a racial slur, somebody says something racist, we all know right from wrong. We know what is acceptable, what is not. It's not just enough for you to say, man, that was messed up. Your job is to address it. And especially if you're in a position where you're with friends or you're in a position of influence, your job is to say, that's not okay, that's unacceptable. Can we do that? For my African-American players, because I've had some people say, well, why are we doing a racism pledge when discrimination was against black people? It's very important for us to remember there are white people that marched and died with Dr. King. So we want to make sure that harmony, love is going both ways. The theme of this weekend is judging everybody, like Dr. King said, based on the content of their character, not the color of their skin. Which means if me and Silas are cool and I like Silas and he's a good person, I rock with him. If he's a jerk, I don't. It has nothing to do with what color his skin is, where he comes from, what religion he prays to. It's about him as an individual. Can we commit to doing that? Awesome. My team captain, step forward, please. I need you to take one of these pledges and make sure all your teammates have one of these pledges. Everyone have one? Okay, team captains, you're gonna lead your team. We're gonna read this out loud. Now listen, I know some people don't like reading out loud, and I get it. But here's the beauty of it. You're a team, right? We rise together, we fall together. So if we read it out loud together as a team, nobody's gonna notice if you stumble over a word or if you get called on a section because we're doing it as a team, right? All right, so team captains, you're gonna count them down on the count of 3. You count them, and then turn and face your team. And then when they count you down, we'll read it together, and I'm gonna read it with you, okay?
3, 2, 1. I am a student athlete, and I pledge to be a champion of unity on my team, on my campus, and in my community. I pledge to stand against all forces of division and separation. I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration. I stand against racism and discrimination. I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness. I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity. I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding. I pledge to stand against fear and doubt. I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another. I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy. I pledge to strive for change and growth. I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them. I commit to both unity personally and encouragement for all. I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
So the last line is the theme of the weekend, gentlemen. We are stronger together. There is more that unites us than separates us, no matter what anybody tells you. You guys are from York. Teams playing right now are from West Virginia and Baltimore, Maryland. Teams before that were from Philly and Atlanta. I promise you, no matter where they're from, no matter what they look like, y'all all following the same TikTok trends. If you play video games, you all play the same video games, Call of Duty, 2K, Madden, whatever. You all listen to the same music. So the theme of the weekend is judging people based on who they are, not what they look like. Now, this is not mandatory. We don't make anybody sign this. But if what you read, this resonates with you, and you agree with what you read, I'm gonna ask you all to step to these tables and sign this pledge and date it. You're gonna keep this pledge. What you do after you leave this place is totally up to you, but what I can tell you is this week I had one of my former players who played in the very first edition of this sent me a picture of his pledge framed. He has it in his dorm room in college because he wanted to remember what we talked about today. So I just want you to use this as a remembrance of this particular day, and sign the pledge, keep the pledge, but return my pens. Can we do that? Thanks, guys. There's a table over here, and there's some pens over here too, guys. Caleb, you want to get us a bench?
It's always great to come out here and play for a great cause. We preach every day at practice to be a family, and that's one thing that we always strive for. It doesn't matter who each other are, what color of the skin, it doesn't matter. We preach that everybody's got to have each other's back no matter what, and that's one of our things that we preach every day.
That experience right there where you guys are all gathered in a circle and Ron's talking to you guys and walking you through the purpose of this event, what's it like going through that as an athlete and listening to someone kind of describe why you guys are playing here today?
It really puts it into its place, honestly. It's so awesome that Coursey started this, and I'm just glad that we all get here and get to play in this amazing cause.
Yeah. When you read that pledge, obviously, you know, to do it as a team is very special as well. What is kind of going through your mind as you're reading the pledge and kind of doing it as a team?
Just to uphold all those qualities that we read out loud, and it's what happens when the cameras aren't on and when you're in the shadows where people may not see what you're doing, but if you do the right things, that's what we want. So.
Yeah. How would you say that your team, I know you mentioned it a little bit, behind the scenes when the cameras are off, you guys are already very bonded, but how would you describe the bond of this team and the bond of the basketball program to uphold some of those standards that you just read?
Yeah, I mean, we all grew up together, going to school together and stuff, so I know me and Silas have been playing, and Kane as well. We've all been playing up since the youth program, and it starts down there. I mean, we teach those qualities at a super young age for all the kids, so that's one thing that we kind of focus on from youth. That way we build good habits growing up.
The last one I'll ask you, for athletes that are going to be in this event in the future, what would you kind of advise them? What would you recommend to them as they get ready to play at Hoops for Harmony?
Just have fun. I mean, everybody comes out here, everybody wants to win, but it's a good cause that we're here for, and I just hope that everybody sees why we're here and why we're playing today. So
it's a lot of fun, and it's just like working as a team, like just bringing like family together and like just playing for like I'm okay and like what the pledge said and what we all read.
Ron does a good job of putting this on, and you were his pick to come on here and talk about what has Ron played a role, or how has Ron played a role in your life and impacting your life both on a basketball court and off of it?
Off basketball, he took me on an HBCU tour to like help me with like college and like see like there's other colleges that you can go to and pick. And for basketball, he's just like always been like helpful about like how to like give me like college recruiting.
When you guys read that pledge, obviously a very cool moment to experience that and read it aloud with your teammates. What did you learn from reading that pledge about the standards of this tournament?
I learned that it's when we like read together, it's like more of as a family, not like one as like separate. It's like stronger together as family.
Why would you say not only is it so important to play basketball on such a special weekend, but why is it so important to play it on Martin Luther King Jr. weekend?
To like remember like what he's done and like the stuff he's like what he sacrificed and like all the other things he did for this community and country.
Well, last one I'll ask you, Trent talked a little bit about the bond of this group and how you guys are already upholding some of the standards that you read in that pledge. How would you describe not only this basketball team, but the entire York Suburban basketball program?
Entire York Suburban basketball program, we're all like a huge family. It doesn't matter how young you are, how old you are. After you graduate, you're still family. So it's just family really coming together.
Yeah, it kind of gives you chills because it's that important. I think some of these kids have, obviously they've never experienced how things were back in the day. And for them to be able to read that as a team, as a family, and really dive into what those words mean, it's powerful.
Ron has been doing this, it's the 5th annual tournament now. You guys have been part of 3 of them. But you get to have a unique experience with Ron because you've seen him as an athletic director as well. Can you talk to the, I guess, level of expertise that Ron brings to this tournament and the importance that he, delivers when he holds this tournament?
Yeah, Ron does an amazing job. And you can tell just from how he talks how much he cares about not only the kids, the game of basketball, but the calls. And he puts a lot of time and effort and energy into this event. I'm sure he's worn out by the end of the day, but he understands that it's bigger than basketball. He tries to impact young kids' lives in ways other than basketball, and that's what he's doing here today.
When you see your kids talk about the bond that they have, feeling like they're already living up to some of that pledge, how have you seen your basketball program kind of embody togetherness and closeness?
It's a close group of kids, and sometimes they don't like how I do things or say things because I hold them accountable, but I teach them in the long run things about life. I want them to be successful.
You get to read the pledge together as a group to see pretty much, I think, all of your athletes go over to the tables and sign. What does that mean to you as a head coach for all of them to write their names down and agree to what they just read?
I think it's important to start this kind of stuff at that young age, make it a habit, and when they get to me, it's easier. I think it's just great because you can get a wide variety of different teams from different hometowns. There's people from Maryland, DC, Baltimore, everywhere, Virginia. Everyone gets to come here, bond, share their experiences, and have a great time.
I think it's a great program he runs in this community that kind of brings people from all different parts of the state and the country even, and brings them together and kind of unites us under one pledge that can help all people no matter where you are, and it's really a great thing he runs.
You talk about the pledge that you guys just read. What was that moment like, being able to read that pledge and experience it and read it aloud with your teammates?
I think it's awesome because I think it's something that everyone should have to read and should be willing to sign because it's what everyone should believe. You shouldn't judge anybody based on how they look or what they believe. It should be equal for everybody.
Why is it so important? And I know it's such a big thing he talked about, but Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, not many high school basketball teams or tournaments are taking place right now. Why do you feel it's so important that this tournament takes place here in central Pennsylvania around this time of year?
I think with this message, there's no better time to do it around someone that was such a prominent figure in American civil rights history. And I think, just bring everyone together here in the middle of Pennsylvania, bring guys from all over just to play on this weekend. It's really special.
Well, let me ask you, too, about your program, Lampeter Strasburg. What is it about your program that kind of unites and symbolizes with that pledge? How close is this group?
I think we're super close. We play all year long together. We go to school together. We play even other sports together. And I think having each other there to kind of hold everyone accountable is important, and we really do stick together really well.
Yeah, I believe this is our third year. I think we started our first year against Chambersburg over at York Tech, and then last year we played Dallastown, and then this year we have York Suburban. So it's going on our third year, I believe.
Okay. Being able to experience it this much now, the third time, what is the experience like for you every time you get to walk in here and get to talk to Ron and read that pledge with your team?
Yeah, so actually when I first got hired as a head coach, I called my AD and I was like, hey, are we in Hoops for Harmony again? Because it's such an enjoyable experience. The only unfortunate part for me now is being the head coach. I got to come on the bus, I got to leave on the bus. So I used to drive separately just so I could watch the games. And it's a great experience, man. Like Asher said, it brings everybody together. And basketball and sports in general just unite everybody, no matter what your color is, what your beliefs are. So it's special. It's something that I plan on being here for as long as he's going to do it. We'd love to be a part of it.
Yeah. In terms of the pledge itself, when you have an opportunity to read something like that, what is kind of the emotion and reaction going through your mind when you read that with your team?
Yeah, it gives chills to me because we are, as they said, we are a predominantly white school, but I've never experienced any racism from our players. So something like this is just, it's so cool. It means so much to the guys. And when you are reading it and you have everybody quiet and silent and you're reading a pledge together, it's more than just, oh, here's a piece of paper, let's sign it. It's everybody's reading it together. We now have to hold each other accountable.
For anybody that is contemplating, again, teams, coaches, players, anybody that's contemplating joining this event, I love how you said, the first thing you did, one of them was to go and to your AD and say, let's join this, let's get back in this. What would you say to anybody that is contemplating it about why to join this event?
Don't even contemplate it. Like, man, it's so well run. We have never had any mishaps. When we get here, they lead us to locker rooms. We've never had any malfunctions of even clocks. It's such a well-run. I've been part of a lot of different programs, whether it's been my brothers in the past, myself in high school, us as a team. This is the most well-run one I've ever been to. And then on top of that, it's not just local teams. It's best of the best. It's just so fun to watch.
This was the 5th annual Hoops for Harmony. Every year, the number of teams participating has increased, something Courtside hopes to continue in the years to come. Reporting in studio for Courtside Chronicles, I'm Caleb Nixon.